with him as opposed to maybe Coach LeBeau working the first couple of years?
Right, just these past couple of weeks working with Dean, man, he's just such a smart coach, legendary coach as well. I mean, it's just pretty much just being honored to be coached by him. You know, being coached by LeBeau first, my first couple of years, and now Dean Pease is definitely a pleasure and it's an honor.
Is there any offenses obviously working through a lot of stuff? When they're making their own mistakes, does that reduce a defensive win on a play conceivably?
I mean, of course, we'll take anything we can get anytime we feel like we're beating up on the offense or whatever. Of course, the defense is going to feel good, but we know that the next day they're going to go in the film room and digest the film, pretty much come back the next day and try not really scheme us or game plan us, but like you said, try to come out there and beat us up. So, I mean, that's just pretty much what this whole thing is about, man. Every single day we're trying to compete with each other and become the best team we could be so collectively we can be ready when the season starts.
The general rule is the defense is ahead of the offense at this stage, and I think a lot of guys have felt that. You feel like that at this stage with these offenses and defenses?
I mean, I don't really know if we're ahead of those guys or not because I'm not really in their meetings or anything like that, but I definitely see that every single day we're out here competing as hard as we can. And, you know, some days the offense do look like they make more plays and some days it's vice versa. So we're just out here trying to get better and compete.
What was the mindset of the overall team maybe this offseason compared to maybe last year?
I think just different swagger, different confidence. We know how far we came last year, and we know what it's going to have to take for us to get there again. So we're just taking everything step by step, pretty much starting over, but at the same time realizing that, hey, we was 2 games away.
What's the next step for you personally? You were all pro last year as a second-year player. After your rookie year, you played quite a bit. From a personal standpoint, what's your next goal?
I mean, my personal goal right now is just focus on the team. Focus on trying to be a better leader. If it's things that some of the younger DBs or younger guys on the sideline need help with, I'm always trying to be on the sideline talking to those guys. But, yeah, it's all about leadership right now, bringing everybody along because at the end of the day, it takes everybody to win a championship, and that's what we're going to need.
Were you not necessarily reluctant, but as a rookie, you kind of had to sit back and observe more, watch the veterans, kind of defer to them. Now, is it a completely different game for you as far as when you speak up, how you speak up?
Yeah, I mean, as a rookie, man, I was still feeling my way around. You know, I was learning from the vets that was here, and I'm still learning from the vets here as well. I'm not 8-year veteran down there. I'm only a 3rd-year player. Man, I have a lot to learn. I still have a lot of room to grow. So that's what I'm doing every single day. I'm learning and growing, but at the same time, if I can reach down and help somebody else, I'm definitely doing that every single day.
You guys setting goals in secondary where y'all want to be as a group?
Yeah, I mean, we want to be, if not the best, one of the best secondaries in the league this year. But at the end of the day, that's all talk right now. I mean, at the end of the day, we're going out here. We have the opportunity to actually be on the field right now and work with each other, get the communication down, learn the defense, and going against a tough receiver crew in the Titans or whatever. So that's what we're doing every single day. But, I mean, we know we're chasing, but this is all talk right now. We have to go to work.
How has that chemistry been among them?
I mean, it's been pretty good, man. Like you said, I think you guys seeing it, guys flying around, trying to make plays. I think we have a real talented DB group, man. It's like I said, it's all about just putting it together this year.
What kind of difference does it make with you and Cyprian having played a year together in terms of maybe nonverbal communication even?
I mean, it makes a big difference because last year around this time, we were still learning each other, learning how we communicate in little subtle ways and things like that. But nowadays, you know, me and Sid, we can just get a look at each other and things like that. We kind of know we're on the same page. So it's definitely, in the year 2 with me and Sid, man, it's definitely going to be a lot better than it was last year because, like I said, I feel like just having that chemistry that we have right now is going to be great for us.
Is Kevin Byard hiding from you guys the way he's hiding from us?
I mean, he was here today, so, I mean, it was definitely good to see him out there today, man. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, the OTAs, they're voluntary, so, I mean, I'm pretty sure he wasn't here for personal reasons, but he's here today, and he's trying to get better with it, so I'm definitely glad to see him in meetings today.
What's the challenge that Dane Crookshank is going through, kind of learning a new position, and how have you seen him progress through these weeks?
Yeah, I mean, he's going through the same things that I think every rookie DB goes through. You know, you learn the whole new defense. You know, a lot of intensity out here. It's kind of your head spinning a little bit because he's a rookie. You want to come out here and make plays. So, I mean, but I've liked the progression of him. He's a big physical guy. Like, he can play every position in the defensive back room. So, I mean, I like him as well, and I think he'll keep, you know, coming along and being a better DB. But he's great right now.
You're used to him by now, but Kerry Combs, what were your initial impressions of him, just and his style, and now what's it like a couple of months working with him?
Yeah, I mean, he reminds me of a coach coming from college. You know, the intensity is there. You know, the work ethic's there. The, you know, drinking coffee all day, every day, that's there. You know, Combs is a great guy. He's a great technician. I mean, he's brought up things on film that I've been watching that I haven't really been paying attention to, my feet work and stuff like that. So, you know, Coach Combs is a great coach. I like him.
So it's not natural enthusiasm, it's caffeine fueled adrenaline with it?
No, I think it's like 90% natural, and the rest is the caffeine. Just give him a little boost.
You ever been around a coach like that?
I mean, I had a couple college coaches that was intense, but I think Coach Combs, he's definitely on a different level. And I think that's great for us because at the end of the day, we need energy every single day. I mean, if we're not going to bring it, we know he's going to bring it. So that's one thing that we can always hold him accountable, just like you're holding us accountable.
How does staff benefit your game from the knowledge standpoint, having to learn a new playbook, all that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the pains or growing pains that you go through, just having a whole new defense, new defensive staff. But I think guys are picking it up pretty fast. You know, we have a lot of veterans in this room, in this building, that can pick up pretty fast and help the younger guys. So I honestly think that we're ahead of, in my opinion, we're ahead of where we were, last year as far as the defense. So I think it's pretty good.
Has there been any under-the-radar players, offensive, defense, that stood out to you, up to this point?
I wouldn't say it's anybody that stood out. I mean, a lot of the young guys look good. We have a lot of undrafted guys this year on both sides of the ball, and they look real good this year. But as of right now, I can't just point out anybody in particular. But guys looking fast. I can tell you that.
What do you think from Aaron Wallace?
He's looking good. I mean, Aaron Wallace been here since my rookie year. He's been progressing along. I know he didn't have a lot of playing time last year, but I definitely hope to see that pick up this year. And he's doing great, man. He's doing everything he can do to get on the field and play hard for us.
What's your off season gonna look like? I guess this 6-week break before training camp.
Well, I'm getting married, so I'm getting married in 3 weeks. So yeah, I appreciate it. So that's gonna be fun. Little honeymoon, then right back to grinding. Probably grinding with Coach Spray, my trainer. Get right back to training camp, man. Trying to win the championship.
Going for your honeymoon?
We're going to Barbados. I wasn't going to Bali, but that's too far. So I think I'm gonna stick to the Caribbeans.
Running on the beach in the mornings be part of your honeymoon? Or?
Yeah, I mean, either the beach or the little weight room they had on the resort. I might go in there. It might be too hot. We'll see.
One more on Combs. Do you drink coffee yourself? And seeing how he is with coffee, does it make you want to drink coffee or stay away from it?
Nah, I don't need coffee. I don't really need caffeine or anything. I had to get up in the morning. I kind of just jump up out the bed, turn up. That's it.
Check out the crane in Barbados.
Yeah, the crane? Oh, I'm going to check it out for sure.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate
Good. All right, man. Y'all take it easy.
Appreciate it.
Sir.
Hey guys. Teresa, how are you?
I'm good, Mike. How are you?
You gonna lead off?
Absolutely. Well, you've had Taylor Wanting in the off-season program. He's not here for the minicamp. Worried at all, or expect John and the rest of the front office to get that deal done before camp?
Well, I have a lot of faith in John and our organization and the front office, and certainly Taylor's got a situation. But where we're at, I think John pretty much covered it with the statement. But I do have a lot of faith in John and our organization to do contracts and to handle everything that the coaches can't.
Former player, do you empathize a little bit with Taylor in the situation he's going through?
Well, we all have a contract. I understand that. Like we all here, everybody in this building has a contract, and so I understand that there sometimes becomes issues with those. So I think that they're best handled internally. And that's where we'll go.
How'd Kevin Byard do in terms of being a stand-up guy with you and his teammates as opposed to us when he ran right by us and left everybody else to answer his question?
I'm not sure really what your question is, Paul, but if you want to ask me about Kevin Dodd, then ask me about Kevin Dodd. But if you're going to try to take a shot at him, I'm not going to answer your question. So you want to rephrase that, Paul, and I'll answer whatever you want about Kevin Dodd, but I don't need you to take a shot at him.
What did Kevin Dodd say about where he's been and what mindset was?
Didn't even ask him, didn't even talk to him, just asked him to do what we've asked everybody else to do, to come in, to be attentive, to be coachable, to give great effort, to know what to do. And from first glance, it looked like he did that. And so we'll take a look at the film, and then we'll go from there.
You expect guys, too, to stop if somebody's trying to talk to him?
Again, I think that's up to the player. I'm here. I'm talking to you. Some of the players, they choose to talk. I think that the league at some point will make that mandatory. So pass it along, and then they'll make Kevin mandatory.
Is he behind in any way from having missed time?
Well, we'll have to, again, I think the biggest thing would just be conditioning, and if he knows what to do, if he stayed up on the installation, then no. So I can't really tell you from first glance if there were mental errors or if he lined up wrong or that. But again, he was here, he was working, and it was good to have him back.
What is it for guys, if they've been away, to be up on installation and technique?
I don't know how hard it is, but I know that they should and be able to use their iPad and watch whatever practice or watch whatever installation was sent to it. So I don't know how hard it is, but that's what he would probably had to do.
Would timing and maybe chemistry with the guy beside him maybe be more of an issue for somebody who has stayed away learning a new defense?
I think communication is key in all defensive situations. There's a lot of calls. There's a lot of communication that goes into executing the defense. So we stress communication, and hopefully that's continuing to go on from the front to the back end.
Taylor missing by being here for these 3 days?
What's he missing? Being coached.
Is that, given what he's been able to do in this league, is that more or less important that he's not here?
I think that it's important that all our players get coached as many times as they can.
Surprised you that he wasn't here?
No, I don't think anything surprises me. I got 2 teenage boys. One's going to college, coached football at Ohio State, coached at the Texans. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Is everybody else here today?
I think so, yeah. I mean, yes. Yes, to answer your question, everybody else is accounted for and present.
What are you looking for, Mike, I guess, in minicamp opposed to what you've been able to do throughout the OTAs?
I think where we're at now is it just gives us a little bit more meeting time. We were able to execute a walkthrough in the morning, which is just a small, minor difference, but it gives our guys a chance to get out there and walk through maybe some calls that we're going in today that ordinarily with the OTAs they wouldn't have an opportunity to do.
At this point in the offseason, you talk about guys making the same mistake twice. You don't want that to happen. Do you have the same patience you did maybe in April and May?
I mean, I think you still have to kind of have patience. I mean, you got to coach them. You you allow guys to make mistakes. Something I'm trying to work on is how do you allow a guy to make a mistake and learn from it. But the less mistakes you make, the better for your situation and the better for the defense or the offensive performance.
Kevin Byard, John talks about guys being versatile on the offensive line, and he has some versatility there. Can you just kind of speak to what you've seen from him and what he can bring to this team? Yeah,
we talked to Kevin in the offseason when he signed here. Talked to him about an opportunity that there'd be some position flex, and he'd have an opportunity to help our team out and help himself out by playing a couple positions. So, the more positions you can play up front, the better, because you get thin on game day, really, 7 or 8 offensive linemen a game day. So his versatility has certainly shown up, and he's made his presence known by being able to play guard and tackle for us over the past 10 or 11 practices. Good. I mean, it's good to have him back. Probably been away from football for a while where he was just training. But now he's been able to come out here and put some practices together, string them together like most of the other guys at that group. That group's been out there, and I think continuing to improve and understand the concepts that we're coaching them with Shane and Dean and the rest of the defensive staff.
To take it rather well when guys weren't getting off for their runs on the correct whistle. Did I misperceive that, or is that frustrating at this stage, or at this stage are they still learning?
Oh, no. I mean, that's just me making conditioning interesting. So, we add a couple at the end, or we don't. I mean, that's a way for us to break up the monotony a little bit and kick our legs out after practice.
Conscious of who isn't conscious of it being second whistle or third whistle?
I think that you recognize the guys that may have jumped off in practice, maybe jumped off sides in practice, and then you can kind of explain to them, like, maybe it's not an accident that you might have jumped off sides during practice. Maybe it's a focus or a concentration issue. So if a guy continually to jump off sides after practice and he's jumping off sides during practice, it's something we're going to have to look at.
What have you seen from Dane Cruikshank in terms of learning a bit of a new position? How's his progress
Yeah, you do have some patience, I think, for a younger player that's switching positions. And, there's a lot more in front of him where he's at now, being a safety, as opposed to where he was as a nickel. He was essentially an extra linebacker in that college system. And so what really stood out to me on tape was his willingness to go in there and tackle. And he wasn't afraid to throw it in there and then throw his body around. And you look at him, he's got good size. And so I think just having a few more bodies in front of him is something that's going to continue to be a process and making the checks that's required to play safety in our scheme and in the NFL.
The ability to tackle, I guess that was one of the reasons you guys figured you might make a good.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at the projection, and it's never perfect, but I hope that we have done a decent job thus far of projecting guys where they can help themselves the best and where they can help the team most importantly. But that was something that stood out. His frame, his speed, his ability to run, but the willingness to tackle. I mean, you have to tackle in this league. There's a lot of skilled players that get the ball in their hand during the course of a game, so it's important to be able to tackle.
Coach, for you, what has this whole process been like as your first time as a head coach? Today, your first time at minicamp as a head coach. I mean, has there been any challenges for you?
Yeah, there's challenges every day. There's challenges every day, how I organize my time. And, I was doing something and the referees showed up, and so I figured I better make time for the referees. And then so you have to put something down and get back to it. So I think, I'd like to be in every single meeting room, but I know that that's not possible. So try to pick and choose my spots and, try to coach and try to help and assist where I can.
What does leading the league in interceptions and earning accolades do for a guy like Byard in terms of the cachet he has with his teammates, and do you think he recognizes what it means, if anything?
I don't think it does anything to help us win going forward, because I try to talk to our players about your reputation, and it should be built on what you're doing, not on what you did. My reputation as a player is not going to help me be a better coach. We have to focus on the things that we're doing now and what we're going to do in the future, and not rely on our reputation. Now, with that being said, his ability to make plays in the game and then show up to work, be in condition, communicate, know the defense, practice at a high level, be a leader, those are the things that would stand out to me if I was another player in that locker room. Not maybe what he did last year, but how he's acted this year, which has been all those things that I talked about.
What have you learned about your team up to this point in the offseason?
I think we got a lot of great guys. I think we got a lot of great guys that care about each other, that care about this community, that are willing to work hard. I think they're in condition. I think they try to get better. I think they try to improve. I think they're coachable, and we'll see where it goes here the rest of the week, and then we'll have to trust them to do all those things when they're away on their own.
Talking to Rashawn, he says he thinks he's getting a little faster with the application from the classroom out here. Do you see that?
I think he's very conscientious, and I love that about him. And I know that he doesn't have all the answers right now, and he probably will never. No one will ever have all the answers. But he's the thing that I've honestly been most impressed about is his conscientiousness. That he is asking questions. He tries to answer. I mean, sometimes he's wrong, and we correct him and coach him up. But he's into it. He asks questions. He's excitable. I like when he stands in front of the defense and calls the huddle. So those are all good things for a rookie linebacker. Let's see if he can tackle somebody eventually. But
one of the first things that you said to us was not wanting to give the players too much information and then they could handle too quickly. Do you guys think you've done a pretty good job of managing that?
I think we're on pace with the installation. I think we are. I think we've tried to stick to it. I mean, sometimes I think the coaches get frustrated when I just, put the ball down and just, call it. But, sometimes that happens or that will happen. But I think we've been on pace with the installation as we mapped it out over the course of our OTAs and our minicamp. So, we'll finish up a couple things here, and then there'll always be a lot of situational football that'll come up in training camp. Thank you.